Doing, guys? Welcome to another All ECV live video. It is all about Jesse Marsch tonight. And I am, believe it or not, in England here. I look like I'm absolutely zoomed away. I could be in America here. I'm that far from the camera. I could be in America here. But this is a Jesse Marsch special. We're going to discuss, let us know what you think about the setup. Hopefully the sound is a little bit better. I do care, guys. I do care, but not. So let us know. Give us some feedback on this. But let's talk about Jesse Marsch, Tash, because, listen, I think we've had quite a big debate about it in the All ECV group chat. We've had the debate on videos with CK. I think we're all a little bit on the fence, aren't we?
I think I'm more positive than anyone. Not anyone in the world, but like more than you guys. I'm feeling really positive.
Yeah, I mean, the transfers have made suits this Jesse Marsch team, and I think this is now the time to judge how things are going to go. I really do think that.
100%. Yeah, he's got no excuses really now, has he?
That's it. I mean, that's it, isn't it? I mean, we said the same thing to CK last night. There's no excuses anymore. You know, if Leeds are going to fail this season, it can't be put on the board. It can only really be put on the coaching team and the playing staff. And for me, Tash, I mean, we've got to be looking to push on now. You know, I don't think it's even just a case of staying up. I think it's a case of looking like we're really making progress from last season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it looks like I'm Jesse. I got plans. Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. I think the biggest thing that we can all agree on is defensively. I mean, Wober's come in and he's, I don't know how you say his name, Wober. Woober. I don't think anyone's called him Woober. I don't know why I was just coming out with that. But yeah, I just think defensively we needed to do a lot better. Attacking, we look amazing. I'm really, really excited about the force going forward. But it's just when they do them long balls over, because obviously that's our like first line of defending is, you know, we chase them down and that, but that's not, I think where we've been failing is when they're just doing the long balls over that and then we've got no defenders there, or you know, they can't get back in time. We've got no pace. But what I like about Jesse the most is that he'll see when a player isn't working. He doesn't, he mixes it up a lot. Like he'll drop them, whereas, you know, we're not used to that. Like if, you know, Rasmus, he's brought him in and yet he's dropped him for Aylin. And I think that's a bold statement. He wasn't set on Nonto. Obviously, when he first came in, he was like thinking he was going to be under 23s, and he got proven wrong. And again, straight in. He sees what we see, and I really like that about Jesse. Is that like we're all screaming like don't play Lorente, and he doesn't, like whatever we tend to think he'll go with. I think some of the subs have either made or broke the game. Like some of the subs he's made before, and we thought we could have won that if he didn't do them subs. But then again, vice versa. There's been subs that he's made where we thought, yeah, that has won us that game, or that's, you know, got us a draw out of that game. But I think defensively we're already looking better. I mean, it's hard to tell because I'm just going off cup games at the minute, but like, you know, even that, people saying, "Oh, don't get carried away. It's only cup games, or only shit teams," and that. Well, you know, look at our past with shit teams and cup games. I think we can now absolutely get excited about it. You know,
comfortable against Accrington, really. I thought when that first 20 minutes, I was thinking, "Oh shit, this could be quite messy."
Yeah, they played really well. Who's your best front three? It's so hard to tell. But do you know what? That's what I love as well. I love like that he's, you know, we've got squad depth and he's willing to rotate, and I think it just makes it that more exciting because it's left me. Yeah, but I just okay, he's gone to sort it out. I can see him in the background. He's zooming in. Hey, he's zooming in, guys. I think he's taking on your taking on your feedback. But yeah, I've lost what I was saying now. I'll wait for him to come back. I would just get some of your comments in, and if you can let me know what I was even going on about. else is playing hard? I'm all on my Todd. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look at.
I'm
Oh,
here.
he's
I'm
back.
back. We're a
Oh,
bit
that's much
closer.
better.
We're a bit
Yeah,
closer.
yeah.
We're a bit
I
closer.
like
It's
that.
is that going to stop people moaning at me and like screaming at me? I've never seen comments.
Do you know what? It would. A warning would have been nice, Oscar. You just disappeared on me, and I was like,
I was
"What?"
just looking at the comments and thinking, I need to take action here. I'm getting absolutely blasted.
My best front three. Oh god, it's so hard. Do you know what? I love the Nonto and Somerville like pairing. I absolutely love that. But now we've got Sinistera coming in on the wing. Bamford
Rutter as well.
Bamford looked amazing the other day. Rodrigo's he'll always find the goal. I think more. Oh god, it's so hard. It is so hard. And I like that he'll change it up and have two up front as well, and that as well. God, yeah. I'm actually really really positive about Jesse Marsch at the minute. But yeah, if we don't start winning, he's not really got any excuse. And like you said, we've been hammering the board, and he's gone again. He's left me again.
I figure actually slipped that time. Actually, did genuinely slip that time. I'm not used to this. This is high tech for Oscar Marriott. This.
Thank you very much. Great to see you back on Only TV Tash. It's make or break for Jesse now. It is, because like I said, yeah, he's just got no excuses now. Really, it's all about his tactics now. He's got the players behind him. I think these players are really good. Like, and if under a really decent manager, they'll be flying. So yeah, I'll stop waffling on now.
No, I agree. Listen, I'm maybe a little bit less positive about Jesse Marsch, but this is a big time for Jesse Marsch. We can get a couple of wins out of this next sort of 4 or 5 games. I think things will look very different. Yes, guys, if you can smash the like as well for us, hit that subscribe button too. It massively helps us. But yeah, I think it's a massive time for Jesse Marsch. This I'm probably more on the side of results now. I think it's a case of the Forest game seems huge for me. In terms of if we lost that game, I think all of a sudden you're kind of really asking questions then. I think you really have to ask questions then, because we'll be in a real mess then. Forest would be way ahead of us all of a sudden after we were like 10 ahead of them at the start of the season. It's a little bit concerning in that respect. But I mean, I'm going to touch on this in the fact that I did like what I saw against Accrington. Yes, I know it's only Accrington. But these are the games we used to really make a mess of. And we did almost make a mess of at Cardiff. But we've actually been got through these last few rounds pretty smoothly in the cup. I like what I've seen of Rutter on the right hand side. I think maybe if you say about our wingers, most of them are better off the left than they are off the right, but Rutter looks like he can play there. We brought in Rutter. We all assumed he'd play centre forward, but he looks like he might be able to do a job on that right wing in terms of how Jesse wants to play. He wants his wingers to be narrow anyway, so effectively like wide strikers anyway. So it could really work quite well, that. I like the sign of McKennie, because I did feel that, I've said this a couple of times, the depth outside of Tyler Adams isn't great. I think the rest of the midfield, Mark, I think, is a really good ball player, but he's not great off the ball. He's not very intense off the ball. You probably need Weston McKennie's legs in there as well for certain games. I don't think you can play a midfield of Rocker and Greenwood together in the Premier League. I think you do need some energy alongside them. And yeah, especially the form Simon's in, I think it was important that we did bring in another option in there. And I think Weston McKennie, the fact he's played with Tyler Adams as well, massively helps things. It does
and obviously
make me a lot more positive.
As well. Yeah. Obviously, we're Klitsch leaving, and we just needed a bit more midfielders. And I don't know if Harrison's going or not. Does anyone have any update on that? But
we look okay. We look safe to score.
Yeah, I'd also go as far as saying that, like Brentford game was a big improvement, because they're a bit of a bogey team, but defensively I thought we were so much better against them. And they've been on fire, and they've played, they've beaten top teams, the top 6 teams and stuff like that. So to get a result against them was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we could have won the game. I think we were maybe a little bit quieter than we wanted to be going forward. But we know we're going to score goals this season. You said it yourself, Taff. We're good going forward. Probably, I go as far as saying we're one of the best teams going forward outside that top 10.
Yeah, Yeah, we just like I say got loads of spark. Everyone's gonna be fighting for that position, which is really good. Competition's really good. So, and if people getting injured or whatever, if Bamford gets injured again by coughing, uh, then we've got backup options coming in. And we've still got some people that are injured yet as well. So to come back. Archie Gray, forgot about him, and you know, um, Dallas. We've still got Dallas
Yeah,
to come
Stewie
back.
Dallas. I mean, he's still an option. Right back, left back. I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't even think about him as an option for the right back slot. In case Ayling, Christensen don't really convince, he's an option there. Weston Penny is also an option there. He's played there a few times with Juventus, so it's a good
yeah.
option to have, really. But guys, in the comments, what is your thoughts on Jesse Marsch? Are you Jesse Marsch in? Are you Jesse Marsch out? Are you Jesse Marsch unsure? Are you Jesse Marsch part in? Are you Jesse Marsch part out? Are you Jesse Marsch? It depends. Let us know.
Out, shake it all about.
That's it. Let us know. What are your thoughts on Jesse Marsch right now? But let's see. Any other comments coming in? Still got Dan
Got someone
James.
that's someone's saying out. We've got someone.
Okay.
Jesse in all the way.
I thought
Mixed.
I thought there'd be some, there's a big fence that I'm sat, Oscar. I'm the same, to be honest. I'm the same on that. I'm on the Jesse Marsch fence. I think most people are, to be honest. Maybe a little bit more leaning towards the out, leaning towards the in. It's all good. It's all good. Jesse in on the fence, still fence off in, out if we lose to Forest. I think a lot of people will be, to be honest, David. Jesse in and in between. Sorry, in and between. Sorry. Okay. And a big thank you to Samuel as well. Saw Samuel at the Brentford game. Great to see Samuel again. Thanks so much for your super chat, mate. Evening. Hope you're doing well. I'm still not sold on Marsch, but he's being massively backed and seems to play playing for him. So don't know for now. That's my feeling as well. I don't think we've ever seen a Leeds manager, Tash, backed much in 20, maybe 20 plus years.
Yeah, I mean, you got a question like, is it because of Marsh or is it because of the board realizing that they've messed up in previous ones? Is it because the 49ers are going to fully take over? Yeah, it's a lot of, but it's good. It's nice, and it's nice to see. Hopefully, if we don't sell Jack Harrison, that we're not selling players to kind of buy players as well. We've had a lot of balance in the books, haven't we? And yeah, it's nice. I think we did really well in the summer transfer window, and it's just building on it, and I like that. That's why another thing that I'm Jesse in at the minute, because I can still see a longer term plan. Like, I mean, people have compared before, like having patience with Arteta with Arsenal, and it's could be similar. There's not a lot of patience in football, and football fans can be quite fickle as well. So just I think maybe a bit of patience. I think some of the results that we got were unfair, and then there's other times where you think you can't blame Jesse for that. So yeah, I'm not like Jesse out. What was the fee that they wanted for him?
I believe it was like 40 million we're looking at for Jack Harrison. So, I mean, Jack Harrison, listen, if Leicester wanted to pay 40 million, then it would have been very difficult. But I think part of the reason as well was that Jack Harrison wasn't convinced by the Leicester projects, which, to be honest with you, you see what we're spending on players, what Leicester are spending on players.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
understand that from Jack Harrison's point of view. And I think he's playing really well as a number 10. Leicester have already got James Maddison, who's a really class number 10. It makes sense for me, maybe from a Leeds bias head stuck on here. Why would Jack Harrison leave for this Leicester project? And it looks like he doesn't want to leave for this Leicester project. And I think Harrison's going to be a major part of us staying up this season if we are to stay up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like him when he's on the wing. I just think he's wasted there. He can't get around a player. He just loses the ball every time he's there. but you know, he scored an absolutely cracking goal the other day. Like you say, just you know, behind the striker, I think he does well. He sets up some nice little plays as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's assists wise, goals wise, he's been solid again this season. He's been a consistent performer in that regard. Brendan Aronson, not to have a go at Brendan Aronson, but he's
Yeah.
been the kind of the opposite.
Not-
He's, I think, 1 goal, 1 assist so far this season for him. It's
Yeah.
just not enough from our main number
It's
10
quite
this season.
light as well, isn't he? He's not strong enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's so frustrating when the last couple of weeks where it's just been gusts of winds that are blowing him over, really, if we're being honest. You know, I think we have to really work on that side of things physically in this league.
Yeah, I've got 4 arms. Someone else has mentioned it.
Tasha's got 4 arms. I've got a tiny head. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, a lot of agreement here with Tash on Aronson being too weak at the time. Bamford is vital, says Sham. I agree on that one. Can't lose him now with no other strikers
it made
in
me
this
laugh.
mould. Yeah, but I say we have got 3 really good options forward now, which is good to have considering last season we were playing Dan
But
James
even just like a week or 2 ago, like, you know, before Bamford, we were like, oh, he's finished now. He's so injury prone and he's not even that important. Like, we can do without him now. And then he comes on and plays that like like that the other day. And you're like, okay, he's vital again. Like you say, like, yeah, we definitely need him.
It's a mentality thing with Patrick Bamford. You know, we've seen it a few times where he thought he's in a bad situation here.
But it seems like the pressure's off him now that there's other strikers in as well. Like,
Yeah.
You know, they're all having a laugh, like who's going for the who went for the ball. He's like, did you see the run that I made to get that goal? And yeah, and he didn't get it. But like, yeah, it just seems a lot more confident in himself, like his post match and stuff. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, what Chris has said.
And this is part of the thing where I'm a little bit harsher on Jesse Marsch, is that he's got the squad he wants now. The results have to come for me. I'll say it. I say pretty much what I've said for weeks, really. The results have to come now. You know, we need to see where this project's going second half of the season. I'm not saying I expect us to be a top 10 team all of a sudden, you know, in the space of half a season, but we do see better than 2 wins from 16 or going 8 wins, 8 games without a win. You know, these bits and pieces, conceding the same goal every week. There has to be progression now for me from Leeds United. We have to see this progression. I'm not saying all of a sudden we have to be going to beat Man United or beat Man City and all this lot, but there has to be progression now. We have to move away from the relegation battle because, let's be honest, with the squad we've got now, the options we've got going forward, we shouldn't really be in the relegation battle. Yeah, I'm not saying we should finish top 10, but we should be much more comfortable. Yeah, where Palace are, for example, or where Villa are, where they're not really going to make top 6, but they're not going to go down either. We just want that little bit of stability second half of the season.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why the cup game's been really nice as well, because he's been able to test it out in them games and play around with, you know, new players that started to come in, like putting Rutter on and, you know, just, yeah, just seeing all these different options. It's kind of like having a friendly. But yeah, it's just been really nice. And hopefully they get that momentum from the cup games and that winning spirit. And it just, you know, carries over to the league.
Yeah, exactly. It has. Well, yeah, that's the big thing for us in the cup. We have to continue this momentum we've got now. You know, from the Atkinson game, from the Cardiff game, from the Brentford game, keeping the clean sheet. That has to go into the Forest game. So I hate going to Forest because it's such a bogey team for us. Forest. The worst feeling is if we concede early at Forest is just if heads start to drop at that point. You know, it's a big game in that kind of sense, really.
Yeah, and we've not been great away. I don't think we've won any away games, have we? Or one. Was it Liverpool?
I think one. Yeah, one in the league. Yeah. Liverpool.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. So we've not been great away games. Hopefully,
true. We have to improve that respect. Being decent at home, but yeah, similar to last season, the away form has been so far off it. It has to pick up really, and obviously the next cup game's away from home as well. Sunderland, yeah, that's a pretty tricky game as well. But it's an opportunity now for us. It is really a big opportunity for us now to kick on. I'm excited to see how this team goes. I'm with Tash, you know, I'm maybe not necessarily as Jesse Marsch in or as positive about Jesse Marsch, but I am excited to see what this team can do. And I do believe that this can work under Jesse Marsch. I want it to work under Jesse Marsch because I do like him as a person. I do find him really likable in terms of as a Leeds manager. Sometimes maybe a little bit overboard in post-match interviews and that lot, where
It does get a lot slick,
yeah, maybe turn that down a little bit, but I still do like Jesse Marsch as a as a person, and I do want this to work. And we've seen at times, little way, Chelsea at home, second half against Bournemouth, first half against Tottenham, spells of the game against Brentford, where it's really come together and we've actually looked really good. We've actually looked high octane and what you kind of want from a Leeds United team.
Yeah.
And I think now with the players we've got in, we've got the right players in the right places. Harrison as well, I think in the 10 role looks so well suited to this style of play. So into the style of play. Sinistera as well. He's obviously missed most of the season, but he's pretty much every single time he's played. I think he's our second top scorer, and he's hardly played any games. It's massive now. It's massive now that we pull together and get some results in there. But let's see some more comments, guys.
It's nice to see that spark back as well. I mean, at the end of last season, and before Jesse Marsch had come in, it was like you could see him all like deflated and down and things like that. And I think now you can see him gelling more. They're all having a bit of a laugh and things, which I think is the foundation to any sort of team that's going to do well. You have to gel. But yeah, they just seem a lot more confident.
Is that better now? Is that going to stop people moaning at me? Though, to be fair, some nicer comments set up, which I'm happy with.
Yeah, you not going to be happy until it's zoomed right in, like your face is like...
I know, it's used to be like that now. People are just winding me up now. You can see me. You can clearly see me.
I do think like Jesse Marsch gets unnecessary stick just because he's American though. I think that people need to just back off about that. That's just a bit of a petty argument of why not to like someone. It's always going to be hard, whoever's going to come in after someone that we've admired. But yeah, it's always that like, Americanism, British values, and it's always up against each other, aren't they? But, I think he gets Leeds, he's passionate, and I think that's all we have ever asked as Leeds fans, is that you just get Leeds United. You might not necessarily be that good, but as long as you get who we are, like we're a bit unique. So, just understanding us as a fan base and as a club is really important, and I think he gets that.
Yeah, I agree on that. I think that's one of the things that spotted straight away, really, with Jesse Marsch. I mean, sometimes he does go overboard. We kind of already said that. But in general, I quite like his passion on the touchline. I quite like the fact that he's fiery and willing to maybe push the boundaries a little bit on that, when having to go at the fourth official. I don't mind that. I really don't mind that at all. I think any comments about that are a little bit, every Arteta gets booked all the time. Guardiola gets booked all the time for moaning at referees. Different managers, different personalities, very different to Bielsa. That's very clear, but that's not necessarily means that we can't like him, in that kind of respect. I think everyone we've had, other than Bielsa, has been, different in terms of personality to Bielsa. So that's something to point out as well. But yeah, I mean, let's get some comments in. What is your target now for this season? I mean, in terms of the cup competition? Well, no, let's talk about the league first and the cup. What was your target where you'd say, yes, Jesse Marsch is bringing this team forward? That is what I want to see in this second bit of the season. League position, whatever. What is your target now? What are you looking for from this Leeds team? For me, I'm looking to finish... I think we should be looking to finish 14th, 15th. Listen, if you offered me something now, I'd obviously take it. But I do think we should be looking for better than that now. I think when you get into that spiral where it's just 40 points a season you're targeting for, like what Burnley were doing, like what other teams have been doing, eventually you get dragged in and eventually you do grow down. So we have to be looking to push on for me. So I'd be saying 14th, 15th, maybe a little bit higher. A decent cup run as well, maybe get into the quarters or the semi-finals. I would probably take that right now. Tash, what would you be looking at?
I think maybe 15th, 16th. But I just think it's a slow build. I don't
It's
think
technically progression.
Yeah, it's just yeah, I don't want to get too carried away, like you said, but I don't know. I think just if we get a bit of momentum, if they can just find the goal. That was our problem against Brentford, was that we just couldn't find the goal. I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't want to aim too high because I don't want to get carried away. But yeah, just not relegation. Not like last year when it came down to the literally last game.
Well, we have to,
And I
because the
don't want to
thing
be
is,
relying on others around us either.
that's
Just
it.
want
If
to
it
be
comes down to the last
comfortable.
game, you've seen Rafinha move on, Phillips move on, and we just stayed up. And this pre-season coming up, even if we do stay up, there's going to be
Yeah,
interesting Buddy Nonto. There's going to be interesting
Nonto,
in comparison.
exactly.
There'll probably be interesting Melier, Pascal Struijk potentially, Tyler Adams is probably a big one as well. You know, you look at the likes of Liverpool not having a midfield at this moment in time. Maybe they'll look at Tyler Adams. You don't know. So if we only just stay up and don't progress on last season, it'll be very difficult to keep these players around. It'll be very difficult, and that's something else to bear in mind as well. I think we do have to kick on a little bit. But let's see.
Does someone
Any
block
other
Chris?
comments, guys? So let's see. I don't even what even was that Chris Kelly comment there?
Basically,
I don't even know what he's going on about.
He came to the game with me because Jack couldn't come, and I headbutted him.
When we
scored, when we scored, and like I fucking just nutted him one. Shouldn't be so tall.
Dude, I'm trying to work out what he was going on about when he was saying that. What were you on about? Right, let's see. Any other comments coming in? Finish no lower than 16th. Yeah, I mean, I'd be agreeing with that as well. Let's see. Yeah, we should be done and dusted, no off fate before the last game of the season. I think that's another big thing as well, because the last game of the season is Tottenham at home, and I could not be arsed going into that Tottenham game needing to win, because they'll be pushing for top four. Could not be arsed with that. Do you imagine Ellen Road if we need to win to stay up? How nervy it'll be. Oh, no. Seal it before that. Just seal it before that, honestly. I cannot. The Brentford one was bad enough, so not that again. Please, Leeds United, don't do that again to us. Let's see. Cup run semis. I mean, low key, there is an opportunity. So we can get through that Fulham Sunderland tie. All of a sudden, a lot of the bigger teams have gone already. Arsenal have gone, Liverpool have gone, Chelsea have gone, a couple of other teams, Newcastle as well. There might be an opportunity in the cup. You know, who knows? And we have got the squad to go quite far in the competition. Yeah, we have got a good second team now.
Yeah, it's nice that we've got them backup options, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Tash is getting comments about a head disappearing. I'm comments about being too far away. We're trying, guys. We're trying. Like,
as long as you can hear us.
Just being in my bedroom, just filming, like behind a black wall.
I'm cold.
Trying,
I've just got
guys.
a blanket.
Tash could be anywhere from with that green screen. Could be out on the street. Could be out on the Ellen Road. Who knows? Let's go through this one, because this is very true. You know, as much as I was saying before about Jesse Marsch does get a lot of unnecessary criticism, but these guys are buying into this project. Like some Willie Nonto, Tyler Adams, Brendan Aronson, Sinistera. You know, not all them players have worked with Marsch before. They've bought into this project. Sinistera has left a Europa League, possibly title challenging team in the Eredivisie in Holland to join us. You know, that's quite a big commitment from him. Yes, I know wages-wise that'll be another thing as well, but there's a lot of interest in Luis Sinistera. He's bought into this project. Willie Nonto has. Jorginho Ruta has. Max Ferber has. These players have bought into this project. You can't just say it's just because of Leeds United. They have to like what they see from the manager itself. You know, like what they see in terms of how we play. So that has to be considered as well. You know, as a lot of people say, oh, you know, Jesse Marsch isn't this big name in that lot. Yes, it's the same name as, you know, some of the other managers we've had in that lot. There's no doubt about that. But players are buying into this. They look happy as well. Willie Nonto looks to have settled in straight away. I think as Tash said before, Somerville and Nonto, there's a real chemistry there straight away in terms of them two.
Yeah. And also, did you see like the way Marsch welcomed Nonto, and he was just like, "Is your family here?" And you know, it's nice. He has a general interest with them, and you know, and just having that bond with your manager is obviously good. Someone that you can put your arm around you, and you know, when you're struggling or whatever as well. Which, you know,
no, it's exactly that, because I think there's no doubt Jesse Marsch, to talk more about why Jesse Marsch is the right man for the job, you've seen the improvement in Rodrigo this season, the improvement in Jack Harrison since we've come back from the World Cup. Willie Gnonto has settled straight into this team. Since Somerville has settled straight into the team. Max Ferber, has settled straight into this team. There's no doubt there's a coach and good player manager there in Jesse Marsch. I've said this before. I think it's more tactically where the question marks are sometimes there with Jesse Marsch. The fact that we do concede the same goal on the counter-attack from our own corner a lot, kind of thing. And it is infuriating. We do concede a lot of goals from being really narrow when we try and defend. Yeah, there are frustrations there, but not what I don't like about some Jesse Marsch summaries has been that everything's bad under Jesse Marsch. He's bad at everything. Everything's bad, everything's shit, and all this lot. Yeah. It's not all shit. That is the reality. It's not all shit. Listen, you can want Jesse Marsch out. I'm not going to have a go at the one Jesse Marsch out. I've had serious questions in recent weeks. Serious questions of Jesse Marsch in recent weeks.
You sound a lot more positive today. Yeah. You do sound a lot more positive than the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could not be more positive, could I? Really? I mean, dearie me, I was down in the dumps last couple of weeks, guys. I'm not gonna lie. That Villa game, that Villa Cardiff game, almost finished me off. Let's see. This is a bit nervous to see, though. A Harrison deal isn't dead. Now, is Mike messing me up here? Is Mike messing me around here? Because is this true, guys? Is this true? I do not want to be live if Jack Harrison is leaving the club. It's making me nervous now.
I'll have no one to perv over anymore.
Deary me, Tash. Deary me. That's outrageous. We've got a good-looking team, haven't we? Let's see. Anyway, right, moving on quickly. Is this true? Is this true, Jack Harrison, or is Mike winding me up here? Nah, I'm reading stuff as we speak. I need more concrete stuff than that, Mike. I need more concrete stuff than that, man.
I'm also happy about the whole Llorente situation. I don't want to really coming on here bashing him, but I think that's just another thing. Like I was saying earlier, before we had, I don't want to try not to mention him, but Bielsa would stick to the same squad, same subs every week, even though it weren't working. And Tyler Roberts, keep coming on. Oh, we still got him. Bring him back and all. But and it was just it's good that Jesse is seen when a player's been shit. He's dropped him, and it's really nice to see that. And it's Llorente. He I think that's why he brought him on, last game, and just see what it was like. And I think that was the final, go out on loan. But it makes more sense now about, giving him the contract and everything. But yeah, it's just, like I said, Rasmus is, he brought him in, and yet he's dropped him for Alien. And I'm just glad that he can see what we're seeing in games and things like that. We wanted the Gnonto Somerville pairing, and just before he got injured, he did. Do you know what I mean? And yeah. So
yeah, I agree on that. It's the thing as well. There's a lot of things to Jesse Marsch where I know when we lose a game, all the negatives are going to be brought up, which is fair enough. But it's not all negative. It isn't all negative. Even if Jesse Marsch gets sacked next week, it hasn't all been negative. That's what I will say, to be fair to him. And yeah, listen, we have, as well, Tash, we haven't shown sentimentality over practicality. We've got rid of players that we don't think can offer us much anymore. The likes of Llorente, the likes of Matthäus Klick, maybe the Matthäus Klick one, maybe slightly less so. Tyler Roberts, Dan James gone out on loan. We have been a little bit less sentimental in that respect, and that's been a good thing as well. I think that was maybe one of the biggest failings of last season was the fact that we were overly sentimental. Maybe did stick with players who weren't really performing in that kind of respect as well. But yeah, listen, we'll have to see if he does drop Brendan Harrison there, Michael Pollard. It'll be interesting. I think he probably will. I think he kind of has to on the basis of the form of the other players around as well. So we'll see. I'm not gonna criticise Jesse Marsch for not dropping Brendan Harrison before he hasn't dropped Brendan Harrison, kind of thing. Let's just see what happens on that score. Listen, I would be amazed if Brendan Harrison does start the Forest game based on current form. I think he has to make that change, but we'll see. I wonder if we don't stick with Harrison in the 10 and play Rutter and kind of on that side, or play someone else on the
I'm
right
gonna
side.
say,
Because
so who's your like starting 11 then?
so strongest 11.
Yeah.
Strongest 11 right now. Okay. Put me on the spot. Okay. Meslier. That's a big shock. That's a big shot that I'll go with Meslier in goal. Right back. I'll go Rasmus. For now.
Okay.
I do think, to be fair, Rasmus does offer you something going forward, to be fair, if we can get him in those
His
areas.
crosses, yeah.
And then centre backs, I think Robin Koch, Max Ferber. I'm going left back. I'm still sticking with Pascal Struijk. I know Junior Firpo has been playing better recently, but for me, it's still Pascal Struijk.
Is this what team's going into the next game? Because obviously Cox's out, isn't he?
Oh, sorry. Do you want strongest 11 or team for Forest?
Team for Forest.
Team for Forest. Okay.
Yeah.
Verba then for Koch, Cooper centre back, left back for me. I'd have to go Pascal Struijk. After that, it's quite tough now. After that, when you get past that back four, is where it gets quite difficult.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tempted to go for power in the midfield against Forest. That is a tough game. I would be tempted to go Adams and McKennie in midfield. Wouldn't mind seeing Rocker in there as well, but I'd go for power midfield. I'd then go Jack Harrison in a 10 role based on current form. On the basis that Rodrigo is also injured, I believe there's certainly a big rumour going around about Rodrigo's fitness for this game. I'd go Bamford up top. On the right is a tough one, but I'd have to go Willie Gnonto. Willie Gnonto has to start because I think he is the most informed player since the World Cup. On the left, I'd go with Luis Sinisterra because I think he's our biggest goal threat outside of our strikers, really. So that's kind of what I'd be going with. I'd be going for power, pace and power, just playing the way Jesse Marsch wants to play, really. But I don't think McKennie will start against Forest.
I don't
myself
think
he
will.
TK did talk about that. I think it probably will be Rocker and McKennie. Maybe we might go with midfield three.
After, yeah.
But we've got options. That's a good thing. I mean, I'm not going to be too forced. Virginia Ruta comes in straight away, or Mark Rocker comes in, keeps his place. I think there's a case for that. I think likes of Aronson definitely need a rest. Yeah, I think that's on really. I think Aronson just needs a rest out of the team. Other than that, I'd be relatively happy with whatever we go with after that in the attacking areas.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd say either Bamford or maybe try the Rutter up front.
Yeah, there's a strong case for any of the three. If Rodrigo fit, any of those three starting against Forest, I think it's a strong case for any of them.
Yeah. So what would you change then for strongest? Would you take Coops out then?
If everyone was available, yeah, I'd want a right footer and a left footer. I don't like the idea of two left footers if we can avoid it. But I think Verba's proven himself on the left of the two. And I think Rob has looked much better with Verba alongside him. I think sometimes you need that solid centre-back alongside you to get the best out of yourself. And we've seen a lot of centre-backs for Leeds. But yeah, that's what I kind of go with for the time being. And I think obviously it's between Rock and McKennie. McKennie can even play right back if we need him to. I'm not saying I want to do that straight away, but it's an option. If Christensen, Ayling can't nail down that starting spot, it's an option to play him there and play something a little bit different on that side of the pitch. There are options. That's a good thing about it. But for the time being, I'm not 100% set in stone on this team, but that's what I feel is probably our strongest team right now. But Rutter has settled in pretty nicely. I mean, what would your strongest team be, Tash?
Yeah, it's probably. With me, it's just debating who's better out of Ayling and Rasmus, because the thing is, Rasmus, like I say, they're both good at going forward, and I like Rasmus's like crosses and that. I think Ayling did a lot against Brentford. I thought he played really well going forward, and Ayling can get back a lot quicker. He's just got that bit more pace to getting back.
That's true.
It's really hard to say up front because I guess it just depends who links up well with each other as well.
Yeah, do certain players work better with others? I think there's definitely a case of that. I think Sinisterra and Harrison have already got a really nice dynamic from that Accrington game. I think Gnonto and Somerville have a really nice dynamic, so that's something to consider too. I do think I can see what Steve's saying. If it says a midfield three, I think it does make us a bit more solid. But I think we've got to try and get the most out of Jack Harrison in this form, in that role. I think he's been playing really, really gone under the radar in recent weeks. But long term, maybe it is a case of going to midfield three and being a bit more stable off the ball, having that extra presence in midfield. But I really like Harrison in that spot. I think he is our best number 10 right now. So I'd stick with him there. And then other than that, I think it's whoever then really. But I've seen a lot of people not have Harrison in their strongest 11s. And maybe, Jesse Marsch is thinking the same. That's the interesting thing. It's going to be very difficult to fix that starting 11 against Forest.
Yeah.
Probably the hardest it's been in 5 or 6 years, to be honest with you, to predict the starting 11 because there's just so many options now. We've probably not had this since the first season in the championship under Bielsa, where we've had loads of different options. When we had Saiz, Roof, and all the old guard as well, there as well. Pontus Janssen, all these different options in that lot. This is the first time since then that we've probably had 2 to a position or 3 to a position in terms of centre forward. So it's great. It does make me a lot more excited that we are going to see. I think the other thing as well, Tash, is that we're going to look at the bench in the second bit of the season and say, oh, wow, there's a lot of players there who can change the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. You'll have some that might be better
Tash,
as an impact player.
Oh, no, sorry, my mic. It was my mic, sorry.
But yeah, you have ones that will come on and might be better as just an impact player, but you can always just switch it up, like say when it's just not getting in the back of the net. You have them options, but yeah, I'd say so. What I know you briefly mentioned it, but like about the narrow system and not you. Would you like us to go out more wide or?
I think now we have players more suited to it. I think Rutter, as I said before, I think he looks really good on that right-hand side. I think Nonto's another really good option there as well. I think Nonto, Harrison look really well suited to this. Listen, it's not like what I'd love to see is playing really, really narrow like this. I would prefer it to be a little bit further wide. But if you've got the players to do it, I've no problem with it. I think now we've got closer to that. I think last season, obviously Rafinha didn't like that at all. I don't think he liked playing narrow at all. And he was our best player. So it looks a lot worse than what it actually was. I think now we've got players more suited to it. Maybe not as good. They're not as good as Rafinha, but they're more suited to the system. And I think if the collective's more suited to it, we'll get better results from it. I still don't like the way we defend. I will still stand by that. I don't like the way we defend. I think when we're defending like this, like a massive space like that, I don't like that too much. But
we all seem to move down one side or the other, don't we?
That's it. We get done on the sides or on counter-attacks, and I think we have to work on that. I know it's part of because we like to press and we like to all be like this when we press, but I do want to be a little bit more stable defensively. It just feels like either
get more pace, or like you even need more pace, or like say change the tactics.
Yeah, to get back, to recover, to lose the ball. McKennie and Adams in there. You've got that energy to go box, defend both boxes, or attack, the other box. Things like that. And I think we have signed players more simple in that kind of respect, but I do still think we have to defend differently. I think the fact that we're so narrow. If a fullback makes a mistake, misjudges a cross, misjudges a pass in between the lines, we're in trouble straight away. We have to judge everything spot on. We defend really on the edge, on the knife really, defensively. And I do want to see that improve a little bit. But against Brentford, much better. And I think it played a big part in that.
But look how Brentford organised their team. They were very organised. And, every time we were going forward, literally the whole squad was right back. Like, just back defending, do you know what I mean? And that's why they were so hard to break down. And that's another thing we need to work on, what you do in that situation, because we just in the final third, I hate when we try and walk it in. It's never worked. We struggled even in the championship when we were flying, we were still struggling with goals in that sense that in the final third when we used to just try and walk it in.
I mean, how many frustrating games? Wigan at home, things like that. That game will always be stuck in my head. That game will never have that Wigan home game. But
that's the thing. I just think when we go forward and when we're fast, when we have that quick pace, we don't overthink it, and we always score from it. It's just bam, 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 bam in, and I just love that. I wish we could see more of that.
Yeah, I think we will now. We've got players more suited to it who like playing this way. But I think you have to say against Brentford, the way we defended was much better. I don't know if it's a case of Ferber individually making it look better, or the system being better. But I liked what I saw against Brentford. If we can do that, stick with that kind of system, keep it tight, make it difficult to break us down, I'm happy with that. And still have it's all about balance, isn't it? You go too defensive, you lose things going forward. You go too attacking, you get dull on the counter. It's just all about finding balance now. But let's see. It's interesting.
This comment, they said Ayling was the only player to give us width against Brentford. I was saying that to my dad. I was like, God, he just looks like he's our right winger. How much you're pressing forward and just going right out wide. Yeah.
But there's going to be games where it looks crap, and there's going to be games where it looks really good. I think that's the nature of we are as a team at this moment in time. Obviously, we want to have a lot more games second bit of the season where it looks good and it does bad. But it's all about balance, isn't it? There's obviously talk about we could go to a 2 up top system as well. In fact, we've got so many strikers now.
Exactly,
We have got a bit more stability in midfield with Kenny in there as well. Because I'll be honest, I'm not being massively convinced by Green. I've said before, I wasn't massively convinced by Greenwood and Rocker as a pairing defensively. I think it was lacking a little bit, but it's more stable now. But I don't mind the lone striker system. I think Bamford plays that role really well. I think you saw against Accrington Stanley, he played it really well. Yes, I know it's Accrington Stanley, but he came on against Villa, made a big impact in that role. Rodriguez on 12 goals for the season already, in half a season for a team that's battling against relegation at this moment in time. This could be huge as well. John Clare Todibo from Leeds, former Barcelona centre-back, right-sided centre-back as well. I'd be very interested if we get him in. Yes, I'm very buzzing with that one if we can get him over the line. But again, is that happening or is it happening? I know a minute ago people were saying, "Oh my word, Harrison's going, Harrison's going that lot." But that seems to have quieted down in the chat. But now Todibo's been mentioned. But yeah, I'd be buzzing if we can get someone like that over the line. I think it does suit the way we play quite a lot. It gives us on the right of the centre backs, but. Interesting if we do get 2 centre backs. Obviously, after getting Montero in as well, who looks a real talent as well. And Fabrizio has said it as well. So let's see if we can get that one over the line. But that'd be a bit of a coup. That, to be fair, we get Todibo over the line as well. But that makes it like a 10 out of 10 window, to be honest with you. Because no disrespect to Diego, that's a big upgrade. That's a big upgrade if we can get Todibo in. Over Llorente. No disrespect to Llorente, but yes, that is an upgrade.
You know who we just signed? What's his name?
John Clare Todibo.
So, what is he? Gone under 21s?
Is that I think it was my Wi-Fi went then. Sorry, he is. No, it'd be for the first team, I'm pretty sure. 23. I can read his career history. He's played. So he started his career at Toulouse, then signed for Barcelona. Didn't really get opportunities there. Played for Schalke, played for Benfica, played for Nice. That is where we're looking to sign him from. But yeah, 23, 6'3", set piece threat. It sounds very good to me. I'm not going to lie, it does sound very positive. I think he goes straight to the team. I think this is a marquee. I'd use the word marquee signing on Todibo. It's come out of nowhere, though. This seems
I was saying about the last signing that we've just made. It was he going under 21s.
I'd have thought so. I think Montero, the Portuguese white, as Chris Kenny called him, I'd imagine he's going 23s. And it's interesting what this means for Charlie Cresswell long term. Charlie Cresswell was linked with Stoke, I think, earlier on in the day. Could this be Charlie Cresswell going the other way? Who knows? But we'll see. But Montero, I'd imagine we'll go to the 23s, and then Todibo will go straight in, competing with Robin Koch. But competition, that's what we needed.
Yeah, definitely.
In that centre back.
100%. But can he defend though?
Can he defend? I rate him. To be fair, from what I've not seen masses of him, but certainly for Barcelona, I like what I saw. He is pretty rapid. I'm not saying he's like Mbappe speed, but yeah, he does seem pretty rapid for his height. So yeah, he does seem really suitable to us. But this is nowhere. What Is it 11 o'clock deadline?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
this
is
is coming. This is coming there. This is an exclusive on Leeds TV, and all these TV exclusive. Our sources from
Should we-
Twitter and the Leeds United All Leeds TV live chat tell us that
Should we
John
change
Clare
the name?
Tadibo is being targeted by Leeds United. He's even in the studio right now. He's just under here.
And he's changed my black green screen.
An hour left to go. Let's see if we can get this over the line. Listen, Willie Nonto was signed in very circumstances. We won't talk about the last time we were in this situation in January when we didn't get Dan James over the line. But listen, let's see what happens. This could be a massive one for us, you know? This could be massive. 11, yeah, that's right, actually. It's 11 o'clock for paperwork. The other stuff, I think we did get an extension on Nonto. I'm pretty sure when we signed him, we got an extension. So let's wait and see. But yeah, I feel possibly another live stream coming on here. It's later on if this does go through. But let's see. Chris Romano, I love that. Chris Romano. But yeah. Let's see.
Chris, get on the stream.
Chris, CK on the stream. CK on the stream. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, I mean, have we got anything else to discuss on Jesse Marsch?
I think that's it. I think, it's hard to say now. Now we've got, like you say, all the transfer window and everything. We've done it at a bit of a weird time, but yeah, it's a weird time but a good time because it's like, what way is it going to go? It can't be a worse February than last year. So I'm feeling positive in that aspect. Being positive about the transfer window is much better than last year. We was all screaming out for another striker and defense and stuff like that. But so yeah, come on, Jesse. You talk a lot. Show us now. Show us what you can.
I don't think anyone minds about that as long as you get results. I don't think anyone really cares about that side of things. If he gives a dodgy press conference where he says a bit too much, I don't think anyone really cares about results. I think it's just the fact that when we beat Chelsea, was anyone talking about Jesse Marsch's press conferences then? When we beat Chelsea 3-0 and sat like second in the table,
yeah,
I don't think they really cared at that point. The ball is in Jesse's court, as says Napa. 100%. But yeah, that's all I can kind of say. I think it is about a case of seeing how things go now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we will leave it there, guys. But big thanks for you jumping on. Please smash that like button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button as well. Plenty more content. Possibly later on, might go live again if Tadibo gets over the line. We'll see. We'll see if we can get that one over the line. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Big thanks to Tash. Hope you like the studio. Yeah, I hope you did like the studio. I'd be fuming if you didn't. It took ages to get this together, but we'll see. It's a little bit of passive aggressiveness there. I'm only messing, guys. Give us your opinions on the studio, but only if the positive ones. Any negative ones will get banned from the channel. We cannot take criticism. I really will lose.
Complain about your opinions all stream, but yeah, give us your opinion.
Only if the positive one. Big thanks for that. I'm going to leave it there. That was a positive one, so I'm going to leave it there. Big thanks, guys. See you later. Cheers, guys.
Bye.